When you stare at the ground too long, everything feels closer than it is. Every shadow looks bigger, every step feels unstable. Because fear grows in narrow vision. Fear of small spaces. You only watch your feet, you forget the road is wide, you forget the sky exists, you forget how far you've come. Look forward. Hey. Look forward. Look forward. Look forward. Not because it's easy, but because it's honest. The world doesn't get kinder, but it becomes clearer. The danger doesn't vanish, but the path appears. One step at a time, eyes up. Breathe steady. Shoulders back. Don't measure the distance, measure the direction. You don't need to see the finish. You only need to see ahead. The noise behind you doesn't decide your pace. The doubt beside you doesn't control your hands. Look forward. Look forward. Look forward. Even if your heart shakes, even if your legs feel heavy, because when you face the horizon, fear loses its shape, and suddenly you remember you were never trapped Some nights I broke, but I never betrayed my direction. I chose a hard road on purpose, I chose a way that made me stronger. I didn't live to be safe, I lived to be real. I made mistakes, I paid the cost, I learned with blood and repetition. No one gave me a clean path, so I come to one. I didn't wait for because it's easy, but because it's honor. The world doesn't get kinder, but he becomes clearer. The danger doesn't vanish, but the path appears. One step at a time. Eyes up. Breathe steady, shoulders back. Don't measure distance, measure the direction. You don't need to see the finish, you only need to see ahead. The noise behind you don't decide your pace. The doubt beside you doesn't control your hands. Look forward. Even if your heart shakes, even if your legs feel heavy, because when you face the horizon, fear loses its shame. I don't chase their speed, I chase heartbeat keeps record like a judge with no mercy. I've worn the mask too long, I played the part too well, and still the weight inside me never got lighter. So I stopped pretending, I stopped barking in it. No more sweet lies, no more borrowed confidence. If I fall honest. If I rise clean. I don't need them to believe me. I need me to believe me. Truth isn't comfortable, it's sharp, but it's real, and it cuts through everything fake. So I face it, I take it, and I move forward with nothing to
I don't need the perfect plan. I don't need the perfect day. I only need this moment and the will to move. The future can't wait, the doubts can't turn. I'm done listening. Right now I act, right now I build, right now I strike forward. No more excuses, no more delay. If I can break, I can push. If I can stand, I can fight. I won't beg for luck, I won't pray for timing. Force the outcome with repetition. Hands locked, eyes forward, heart loud. I'm not here to test myself, I'm here to change myself. Even if it's messy, even if it hurts, I'll do what I can today and make tomorrow pay attention. I don't need progression, I don't need applause, I need progress. One more rep, one more mile. I don't need permission, I don't need applause, I need progress.